Tools and Twisties. Hey, it's new tool cart day. Harbor Freight's having a sale on these 4-drawer tech carts. And I'd previously done this build out, all Harbor Freight, full bank service cart. I really love these carts. I think they're great. In fact, I have 3 of them and a 4th on order. And I did a build out. This was about a $3,000, $3,500 build out, all Harbor Freight, Icon, Doyle, Quinn, really, pro grade build out for a reasonable budget, under $4,000. And some comments were, can we do something a little bit less expensive maybe? And I thought about that, and I thought it'd be cool to do another tool cart build out with a much lower budget target, but still have something that is really designed to take care of the needs of an entry tech or a home DIY person. And I thought the first place to maybe cut a few bucks out of the budget was to go from these full bank service carts. These list for $600. They go on sale all the time for $500, sometimes for 20% off, which makes them $480, and I think once as low as $450. This was on sale for $150 from $210 normally. So I thought this would be a great entry point for that build out, but I was wrong. This thing is woefully disappointing. I will not be using this for my build out, and I just thought I would do a quick video highlighting really the comparative differences. I mean, you can look at both of these in the store, but it's really hard to get a sense of what the deficiencies of this cart are and what really the strengths of this cart are when you're just looking at it in the store. So first of all, just the build quality itself. This thing is built out of lighter gauge steel. I made some notes on what the steel thickness was. It's 1 to 2 gauges thinner on the whole body. I mean, you can just see the whole cart is pretty flexible. The lid is, it's budget. It's 1/3 the cost, but it is less in my mind than 1/3 the cart. So I think that we're going to be spending the extra money on this full bank. I think these full banks are the best U.S. General toolbox available right now. The build quality is great. They're fully welded construction. They're heavier gauge steel. I think they're heavier than even the other U.S. General carts. And lots of space, good depth. Just again, assembly too. This thing had like 60 bolts that needed to be put together. It's the construction on this one is spot welds and rivets and bolts. And it's quite the project to put it together. I mean, working with, power tools and the right tools, it took every bit of an hour more to put this thing together. There's a lot of bolts that are in kind of, difficult to get positions. Not the easiest thing in the world to get these bolts started. If you don't do it in the exact right order, you end up loosening stuff and retightening it. But other deficits of this is that the depth on this thing is really short. I wanted to build it out with some sockets. These are some Quinn sockets that I was going to be using. But for instance, they come on these rails, and I have another video where I modify the rails to show you to be able to leverage basically a no-cost socket rail. Well, they're too tall to put in the box like that. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I can use some other holder, but it just shows you just how short it is. These are some cat/snap-on sockets on an Ernst rail, and they barely fit in there. There's no extra depth in there. But the depth of sockets isn't really even the biggest weakness. I really like these screwdriver holders. I have big pry bars on the side here. And by the way, we're going to do another video on this. This was an all Harbor Freight build out, and I thought it was fantastic. But I think there still were some deficiencies in the final product. Really basically because of my limitation of using only Harbor Freight tools. So I'll be doing a round 2 of this where I'll be using mostly Harbor Freight tools, but I'll be adding some additional tools to take care of the deficiencies. Like, I'm really not a fan of the Icon screwdrivers. The Pittsburgh pry bars are pretty weak. This is the only Hyper Tough tool I recommend because it's made by Wild, and it's a great pry bar, and they're the best prices on them. They're resold by several people, Lang, Tecton, many others. But Hyper Tough has the the best price on it, and is literally is the only hyper tough tool I can recommend buying. But yeah, I think this box is great. But if you take, for instance, a screwdriver, you know, that barely fits. Actually, that will touch. And if you do something like an icon screwdriver, yeah, no way. I mean, that's sticking up several inches. Lid won't close. Just, you know, bad design. And then they have these second sets of holes, which presumably are so that you can take a long tool like this and drop it down through here, and then catch that second one there. But the problem is that it's so short that unless you never close your lid, something like that would just never work. What else? It only has casters on one side, which I guess is not that atypical, but I really love the ability on these full banks to just sort of push it around wherever I need it to go. You can spin them even when they're loaded up. And this one is loaded up with tools. They're relatively easy to move around. I put handles on both sides of this. This comes fully assembled from Harbor Freight. You have to bolt on the casters and the handle. So 4 bolts for each caster. So that's 16 plus another 4, 20 bolts. This, I think, is 56 bolts to put together. I think I mentioned, yeah, I mean, the drawers don't have a, oh, when you close the lid, another thing that bothers me is on this one, you can leave it locked or unlocked. There's a switch back here. I'll show you on this one. There's a switch back here, locked. Drawers have to be closed, but locked and unlocked. If it's an unlocked position, even with the lid closed, you can still open the drawers. On this one, you have no choice. It's closed, they're locked. It's open, they're unlocked. You can start modifying these, but okay, just sort of the quality of this thing, really, really, I mean, I suppose that, what do you expect for 150 bucks? But I am so blown away by how good these are. My disappointment in how crappy this is really surprising. Now, a lot of you are probably using this and you're saying it's fine, it works for me, and that's fine. I don't mean to criticize if you're happy with it, but if you've ever tried one of these I think are almost as good quality as my Icon box. Really, really nice. And I think the equivalent, I've had Snap-on roll carts too. I think it's the equivalent of a Snap-on roll cart, quite honestly. And for, under 500 bucks or 500 bucks around, great, great value. So I think for the build out here, the idea was to try to get, maybe an under $1,000 build out and have enough tools for an entry-level tech, to really do everything they want. I haven't built it yet. I just threw some sockets in here to sort of show you what my plan was with it. But yeah, this ain't gonna do it. The drawers are also short. Also, I was thinking of using something like this Ernst socket tray. Well, it won't fit that way. And if you put it this way, I mean, the amount of room it takes up in here, you can't put it too close to the front. These struts are in the wrong place. So really, even though the edge of the box is here, you have to, move anything that's tall off the edge by 2 or 3 inches. And then these side compartments are kind of useless because they're so shallow. It's just a bad design. Here's an example of the rivets on the construction. You can see rivets there, rivets there, rivets there, as opposed to, if you look at this is fully seam welded all the way around. Very, very, very nice build. So we have a third one here. This is a new one. And we talked in some previous videos about what the build out's going to be in this, and I haven't quite decided yet, but I'm leaning towards building this one out really as a full toolkit, but focusing on innovative tools. Tools that maybe, people aren't used to seeing or have never used or didn't exist, some number of years ago. So for instance, the Astro Nano sockets are some of my favorites. The Astro thin wrenches are great. It's a little heavy on Astro right now, but the Astro swivels and impacts, great tools. I have 1/2 inch, 3/8 and 1/4 inch. Things like these vessel ratcheting screwdrivers. I love them. They're awesome. Or even the new Tecton German Witte made screwdrivers. Good stuff. So we're still figuring out, a lot of the Vera bit driver stuff, some PB Swiss, some good flashlights. This box is going to be built out for my upper garage. so that I have fewer trips down to the main garage for tools. It'll be done as more of a sort of home improvement cart. There will be a full mechanics cart too, but it will have some home improvement cart stuff in it. But I just kind of want to do a quick video on the ultimate, you get what you pay for, or in this case, I think you don't get what you pay for. This is just, I don't know what to do with this. I welcome suggestions in the comments. Let me know what you think I should do with this. I hate returning tools, but I'm completely dissatisfied with the quality on this. I expected better. Just as an example, I know I'm just banging on it, but this is quality. Just the way it opens, quality. The way this opens, I mean, Tools and Twisties. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think I should do with this cart. Let me know what you think should be in the budget cart build out in terms of tools. Should we stay with the traditional chromies? Should we do impacts only for a 3/8 and 1/2 inch and just go chromies and quarter? What kind of price point is the right price point for an entry-level tech? For a cash purchase, no tool truck loans, get enough of a tool setup that you can do what you need to do, start earning money or working on your own cars if that's your thing. So that's Tools and Twisties. Let me know what you think. And we are out.